to Wow Speaks English, a radio program made by students for the world.
Good afternoon, dear audience, and welcome again to our special program, Wow Speaks English. I'm your host, Professor Brenda Garcia, and I want to invite you guys to follow us on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and also to comment in the chat that we have here in the program for you, so you can send your audio messages by WhatsApp. Remember, this program is made by students, to students, professors, and all the community in the Occidente colombiano. Remember, everyone is welcome. So I want to introduce my co-host. Hello, Nicolás. Hello, Jose Miguel. Hello, Anita.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys?
Hello,
Very
teacher.
well.
How are you?
Yes, I'm happy, excited for this program, guys. I love this topic. And also we have two special guests, but we're going to introduce them later in the program, okay? So my people, we are ready with this program. I think it's going to be amazing. And guys, you, the audience, will love this topic. Don't forget to write your comments, but we prefer that you send audio messages by WhatsApp, okay?
Okay, today we have an exciting show in store for all you, from childhood dreams to adult realities. We talk about how the childhood experiences and inspirations shaped our professional choices.
So let's to start getting in context. Let's see what our students think about today's topic. So we're going to participate by scanning the QR code and see how us your audio message about it. Tell us your name, what semester if you're in, and if you're studying a different university or institution. Name it, and how do you think your toys or your games had an effect in the selection of your major.
Okay, guys, remember, tell us your name, what semester are you in, if you study in a different university or institution, and remember the important question, what was your favorite toy or game, and how do you think they influence in the selection of your major? Now let's go to our What Do You Think section.
Have you ever wondered what other people think about stuff? Do you also want to express your opinion?
Join us in our WhatsApp group and send your voice messages to start the conversation. Welcome to What Do You Think About It?
Well, in my case, it was a game. It was Lego Batman 2 from PlayStation 2.
Oh, why?
Because I had a connection with it, with the character, and with my older brother. We played it every time, like every day, and yeah, it's a beautiful memory for me.
My favorite toy, it's maybe a PS2, and because when I was a child, I play to God of War. It's a game that I spent a lot of time, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I was young and a lot of time free.
My favorite toy when I was a child was a very big doll with two ponytails and a little pink dress that was named after me. Literally, the doll was named Natalia.
Wow, the best name. Why?
I don't know, I just like it. I was carrying around
In my child, the microphone.
Why?
Because I love music and I love sing. I just love the microphone and sing with the microphone.
Nice.
I think it could be perfectly a soccer ball.
Why?
Well, as you can see, I love football, so it was one of my favorite things for playing all day long.
I think yes, because Batman is the greatest detective of the world, and I wanted to pick a career that made me closer to his character. And yeah, I think journalism is a good way apart from being a police. And yeah.
Yes, I think that because I'm studying data engineer and EA, and the video games influence to myself in a future created video games with my knowledge.
Actually, I don't think not, because after I was like 8, I completely forgot about that doll, and that didn't make an effect in where I am right now and why I'm studying right now.
I study journalism and social communication. I think not the 100%, but maybe 25%, because it's like obviously you need to stay in front of a camera and take a microphone with you. So I think that maybe 25%.
It was an option before choosing my career, but well, I think yes, because if it is an option, it's obviously an influence. So I think in some way it influences my selection or my option, but it wasn't my case.
Wow, thank you very much for Wow Speaks English interviewers and interviewers with so beautiful comments and experiences about the toys and games. Before to ask you people here in this radio booth, I want that you, Nico, please read the comments that we have on YouTube. What the people say.
Well, Daniela had tell us, my favorite toy when I was a kid was a soccer ball because I love sports and obviously the soccer.
Okay, that's very typical Colombian game.
Yes.
Okay.
Erika Diana tell us, my favorite childhood game was hide and seek because we ran to find instead of hiding, and I had a lot of fun.
Okay, nice, pretty cool.
Rocio del Pilar tell us, I remember that I spoke many languages and don't even know what it was saying. I was just pretending.
I love you, Rocio. Interesting comments. So thank you very much. Remember that you can continue participating in the chat on YouTube and also saying, you know, guys, we want to listen your beautiful voices and your audios by WhatsApp, okay? Later we're gonna listen some of them. So I want to ask the people here on this set. Oh my God. Guys, tell us about your favorite toys. So, Jose Miguel, what was your favorite toy or game?
Well, actually, I remember I love the Legos. I have many Legos. In this moment, I was in a box, so I never use it. But in the moment, I loved them.
Nice, pretty cool. What about you, Anita?
Okay, I remember when I was a child, I had a beer, and I called Teddy. It was light brown and very soft, and it's very interesting because the most of people have a teddy bear when was a child, and I still have it.
You still have the teddy bear?
Yes, in my bed.
Nice, pretty cool.
I love it.
Nice,
Yes.
pretty cool, you know. How about you, Nico?
Well, I actually play with a lot of toys, more than games, but my favorite was a Hot Wheels, you know? That's every boy loves.
Yes.
Guys, you can comment. Yes, I used to play with Hot Wheels, so I used to have teddy bears, so I still have my teddy bear, guys. We want to check your comments, okay? And also, I want to introduce that we have a special guest today that is David. David worked at the university, in this university, and before to continue more talking more about David, I do have this question. What was your favorite toy?
Well, first, thank you for the invitation to this program. It was something unexpected for me, but I'm very glad to stay here.
You're welcome.
And being here. So, just to answer that question, I want to say that I was a very active kid. I used to play a lot of sports. Right now, I don't do it anymore because I have like complication on my knees.
Okay.
But I used to play soccer, tennis. I used to swimming a lot. And also, I enjoy when I was a kid. I have a lot of like illustrated books with a lot of draws in there, and that was amazing for me. That was like my space to creative and imagination section of my childhood.
Okay, pretty cool. You know, guys, when we were creating this program, I was thinking all the time what was my favorite toy, and I couldn't remember. Sorry, guys. I mean, I think that maybe I can say Barbie. Guys, sorry, I love Barbies, and I think that more than because it's a pretty doll, it's because I think it was the only toy that has several occupations. Yes, guys. I mean, Barbie is flight attendant, doctor, vet, dentist.
Robert.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about that one, but yeah.
It's funny, but it's short.
Okay, do you remember other roles for Barbie?
Architect.
Barbie chef, Barbie teacher, actually.
But right now, I don't remember.
No, okay.
That one has a big house.
Yes, of course.
But
a luxury house, luxury car. The dream life, guys.
Someday.
Yeah, one day, guys, will let it come true. So, Lex, what do you think if we continue with an amazing section that is the TikTok?
Many things happen every day at the U. Let's discuss them at
TikTok.
Okay, so before to start with this TikTok session, we were told that we have some audio messages by WhatsApp, so let's listen.
My favorite game when I was a child was jumping the rope. The reason why was because it was fun to do. And I don't think that had any effect on my professional life.
Okay, guys, so if you notice, well, thank you, Sebas. He was the guy who sent us the WhatsApp audio. Okay. And it was really interesting because he said that he mentioned a favorite toy, but that he considers that doesn't have any connection with his choice of the major. Mm-hmm. So, sweetie, what about you? I mean, now that you recall your favorite toy when you were a kid, do you think there is a connection of your toy and your major?
Maybe. For example, in this moment, I'm studying in mechatronics and have like a similar with the Legos because you need to make something, and in the Lego you need to create a car, a ship, whatever, no? And so I think that maybe just a little bit, I think I put like my dreams in my career.
Interesting. So, I mean, if you analyze it with Legos, you need to be creative.
Exactly.
You need to use a lot of your hands, and you can make things from scratch. Interesting connection. How about you, Anna?
In my case, no. I think no.
Yes, I mean, I try to find the connection with teddy bear. And your major is?
Social communication.
Social communication, guys. I don't know, maybe. You never know, but later we talk with David and maybe he let us know his professional perspective about that.
Yes.
Nico?
Well, I think it's not the toy, but it's the way that I play with my toys, because I don't play only with Hot Wheels, Buggy, Max Steel, every toy, and I imagine I study cinema, no? So I imagine movies with all of my toys, no? I like action movie.
Oh,
my
there is a
fight,
connection.
my buggy fight and my Hot Wheels, races.
Okay.
Or lives with Legos, buggies, Hot Wheels,
Nice.
a combination,
Well, don't worry, sweetie. We are
multiverse.
just giving those all these comments, so maybe Davey can give us a perception about that. So, guys, let's listen another audio, okay?
My favorite toy when I was little was a monkey that my dad had in the car. And I liked it because it was small and cute. This one influenced my life because it's an affectionate animal and they communicate easily.
Interesting.
A monkey.
Yeah. Sweetie, you see teddy bear, social communication. Majo, thank you, Majo. Monkey and social communication. Maybe there is a connection between animals and the career. I don't know.
The animals is the symbol of the career.
Ay, Nico. Yes. But guys, we don't know. And actually, I like her explanation that monkeys are social beings. Could be that one the reason, right?
Maybe.
So, sweetie, now that we're talking about this one, about your childhood, toys, and that transition into studying a major, definitely there are like a different maybe steps to consider about. For example, the childhood imprints. I mean, for example, when you talk about your toys and maybe your expectations when you were kids, maybe do you remember a connection about your dreams when you were kids and the major that you're studying? And also my people in the audience, do you think it's a connection about those dreams when you were little kids with the major that you're studying?
That depends the dream, because when you are a child, you have a very crazy dreams, I was thinking when I was a child to be an astronaut.
Oh.
But I think it's a dream that everyone's sometimes had, Everyone looks at an astronaut in a movie and say, "Oh my God, I want that." Thalassophobic.
So, Jose Miguel, what about you? Do you remember maybe your dream job when you were a little kid?
I like the NASA, but not in an astronaut, in an engineer. I want in the past to work there, and I remember that I have an aunt, and he told me, "Oh, you're going to be on work in the NASA, and you're going to be there and go to the Mars and that." Oh, thank you. But yes, I swear, maybe in a moment of my life, can be there.
You will, my friend, definitely you will. That's the idea, to open doors, studying the major. What about you, Anna? Remember your dream job?
Since I had memory, I will be a social communicator, and I take the cameras and recording videos, dancing, and singing, and I don't know if my dream since I was a girl.
Interesting. Yes. Maybe because you're very extrovert?
Yes.
That's the reason. And David, our special guest today, do you remember your dream job when you were a little kid?
That's a tricky question because actually, we used to forget a lot of that kind of memories of our childhood, but like the most recent memory that I have about my career is that I expect to be a doctor. I expect to study medicine.
Wow.
So many years after that, I discovered that I'm scared about the blood.
Same.
You found out.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, guys, it's something very funny because when I was a little girl, my dream job was to become a marine biologist. I love animals, I love nature, but something similar like a David, when I was a teenager, when I was in the 11th grade, I found out that I'm allergic to the extreme heat weather. So imagine marine biologist and allergic to the hot weather. No, guys, that is not makes possible for that. So I was very disappointed. I have to, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? And I start checking different options, and here I am.
Well, but something we are forgetting is like more than dreams, like the education you get, in your whole life. It's something that you have in your career, I think.
Maybe. If I told in my past, like for example, my school, I don't remember that they told me that I need to study this because you are good in this. They were like, you are free to select what you want. So in my case, I think that no.
No, actually, in my case, I study, that here in Colombia, public schools, because I was graduating from a public school. The emphasis was in salud y nutrición. But, I didn't have any connection with them. Okay, so sweetie, we have maybe some more comments in the group and YouTube?
We had Daniela Ojeda that is, no, absolutely no. I love soccer and I practice it. But it's very difficult to be a professional soccer player, and I ever liked the maths and systems. He is studying informatic engineering.
Oh, pretty cool.
Raquel Martinez. I have blocks like Legos, but cheap, and every day I build stranger things. And this game helped me my imagination.
Nice, pretty cool. Thank you very much.
Puts the creativity in a high level, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like, boil something strange, like a car with rockets.
Could be. I mean, that one I think he helps to release your creativity and also to think in how to solve problems. Because you say, oh, maybe this figure doesn't fit with this. I want to do a space rocket, but the figures maybe they are not the best one, but I do my best to fix this and do it. Could be that one the reason. So guys, also I want to discuss about the childhood and the options that you study your career, and it's about parents. I mean, guys, do you think that maybe there is a influence from your parents to study the major? I mean, for example, I know that some students, they are very into arts, music, painting, drama. I mean, that to become an actor, an actress. So maybe do you think parents influence on us when we choose a career? What do you think, guys?
Well, my parents both are mathematicians, and my mom is physics. So it's supposed to I need to be a good mathematician, and I was in another university before this one, and I studied designer. So it's like two different ways, and then I changed to WOW because I thought that my mathematicians are very good, and I changed to mechatronics because it involves too many maths. And yeah, I think that that's the reason, because my parents told me, you're going to study something with maths or like engineer or something like that.
Like, you are good at numbers. Study something with numbers.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. How about you, Anna?
I think they had a big influence because, like, they daughter, I was B, they want to IB. So I think something like why I can study and they feel like
if they maybe say no, proud
of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is very common when we are children to come like a fulfilled our parents' goals on us. And Nico, what about you?
Well, that's strange because my family they are artistic, but not they don't do that for living. My mom is mathematics teacher, And my father, well, has an artistic because he's a graphic designer. And when I work with him every time, but to study cinema, they only give me all his love, I think, because they don't do nothing with that terms.
Okay, so my beautiful audience, remember that you also can participate on YouTube in the chat and also sending messages, audio messages by WhatsApp. Just tell us, did your parents support you when you decided to study the career that you wanted? Guys, let us know. I think it's an interesting option to discuss here. Also, guys, we want to mention about the adulthood reflections. Well, in this case, it's more like for adults, maybe Davey and I a little bit. And it's about this. In some cases, people study a major at the university, they are graduated, but for whatever circumstances in their lives, they work in something totally different, For example, in my case, I told you about my dream job was marine biologist. Then at the university, I studied an administrative career. Actually, I'm professional in international business. Imagine, but because of my work, I had to be bilingual. And then because of some circumstances and some perspectives of life, I changed in a career to support other people. And that option was education. And actually I feel very, very glad being an English teacher. So in this case, I think because you're studying undergraduate, you don't know very well that transition. But I don't know, David, if you know some cases that people that study like me, something to a starting point in the major and then they change totally at work.
Well, yeah, actually it's something that happens a lot more in our culture because we have a very difficult environment, most in the economic part on this culture in Colombia in general. So, and that's something that students, mostly part of the university, think all the time. It's well, I'm studying right now, but when I graduate myself, I'm going to find a job, in what kind of job I'm going to find, in what kind of area I'm going to develop myself as a professional. And usually I have a lot of friends that maybe work or study as an engineer and right now have a restaurant. Right now they are starting his own job, selling jewelry, something like that. But that depends on the culture and the specific situation of every context. That in my case, after 6 months that I graduated myself, I found a job right here in the university as a psychologist in the educational area. And I always expect to find something more clinic, but I'm very glad to find the job right here in the university because I find another way to think, another way to relation with the people and help students and start to think about that. That was okay, I can help people in the most important part of their lives because they are a student, they are growing. And so things can change very quickly, more in our careers.
Definitely. Thank you very much, David. And also because I think that if you analyze it in every major, you have a different options to work with. For example, as David mentioned, psychologists could be clinic, educational, also, for example, in the companies, and human resources. So there are different areas. As well as mechatronic engineers. They can work, I don't know, in several companies, even in NASA. Guys, who never knows?
Oh, yeah.
You see? And also I think something very important that David mentioned is that we have grown up in a culture that we say, okay, study and find a job. But in these days, if you realize it, it's also very important that you start up your own company. That one is also very nice. I know that it's challenging, but not impossible, guys. So that one is a pretty cool invitation for you guys, all the audience. So, sweetie, there are more comments on YouTube?
We got Joanna Diaz. My parents have always been street vendors. So, since I was little, I was always in a working environment and that made me choose a career that give me a very good income so that they stop working.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Are there more comments?
Lucia Maria Rosario, they say, I think that in my case, my parents don't include it because my mother always supported me in the career that I choose one. My mother is nurse.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. I think there are nice comments. And
well,
give us a moment, guys. Well, I don't know. There are maybe WhatsApp audio messages there. Okay, let's wait because they are telling me that there are more messages.
Hi, I'm Jose Rodriguez. My career is mechatronic engineer. My favorite games as a child were Pokemon and Crash Bandicoot, so I often played them with friends, and it was a lot of fun. My professional life that encouraged me to grow my passion for technology.
Pretty cool. Thank you very much, Jose. That's a nice information. You know, Pokemon, and what was the other? Crush. I don't know what is Crush.
Crush is a video game of Ubisoft.
Interesting. Sorry.
Different generation. It's very old. Like Play 2.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I want to introduce the guests involved and remote guest. Welcome, David and Melissa. Thanks for being here today.
Okay, so sorry, here, David, welcome again. Yeah. Now we want to know more about you. So can you tell us more information about who is David?
Well, my name is David Gomez. Yeah, I work since I think that is 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, right here in the University of Autónoma, in the area of the Centro para la Excelencia, in the building of Bienestar. Yeah, that's very close to the cafeteria. Well, mostly part of my job here is working with the students, like in an assistant or maybe an accessory. In crisis, more part of the difficult times of the semester, like exams, things like that. And well, that's part of my job. In my personal life, I enjoy play video games. I have a cat, so I'm fully time dad of a cat. And that's kind of me. I work as a psychologist also, independent. Yeah. And in one time of my life, I work as a traductor.
Translator.
Translator.
Interesting.
And I was like a season of my life that I have been in New Jersey working as a waiter.
Oh.
So that's something like particular for me.
No, but thank you very much for sharing all that information. I think it's gonna be really cool about all that you mentioned, right?
In what part of New Jersey? In what part of New Jersey?
I was in a little town. It's called Hackettstown.
Oh, yeah, because I was there, but in Elizabeth, I worked there too.
Yeah, as a waiter too?
Yeah.
Interesting, guys, you see. Things in common and you didn't have any idea. And our another guest that is connected remotely is Melissa Arango. Hello, Melissa. Well, let's check. Hello, Meli.
Hello. Hi, guys. Thank you for letting me be here today.
You're also, thank you for staying here with us. So, as you know, they've introduced himself. How about you? Who's Melissa Arango?
Oh my goodness. Well, guys, well, let me tell you, it's a long way. I have been working as a psychologist for more than 10 years. I already graduated from San Buenaventura University. I have been in the educational area. Now I am moving in the organizational area as well, and also in the clinic part. Not much, but like 2 or 3 years. So also, I would like to say that I'm a very, very big fan of traveling. So, every single year I have to be traveling, spending time with my family, and basically learning. I think that teachers, psychologists, we have to be in constant learning as well. And this is a very, very exciting part of me being here with you guys.
Thank you very much, Mel. I love all the information that you mentioned, and also that you have worked like in the 3 areas. I mean, clinic, organizational, and educational. Nice. So
Yes.
you have like a huge perspective, especially for today's topic.
Yes.
Okay, Meli. So I want to start with you. And if you notice, we have listened to some people, students in the audience, and also read some messages about their choices and their toys. So I want to ask you if, I don't know, do you think the toys or games in our childhood has an influence on our professional lives?
Hearing from all of you, all your different perspectives and points of view, it's very clear that, of course, everything that you do when you are a child is a construction of your future. Yes. You were talking about someone that is social communication, but loved the monkeys or loved animals. You have to think about in the relationship that you had with that toy. Yes. What it made you feel, and how do you worked or play with it as well. It impacts a lot on your professional career later on. But obviously, we have to take into account the environment, not only playing with the toy, but also your house, your family, right? You also have to know that humans, right, especially kids and teenagers, we are in constant change. And we are not static all the time. We have to be moving. And those feelings, those thoughts are a very, very breaking point of you choosing what you're going to do later on.
Okay, now the same question for David. How about you, David?
Well, I'm very agree with Melissa, with the comments of Melissa. And I want to explain a little bit more about this influence that impact the child and could be reflected on the youngest teenager and the young adult. When we are kids, we have like something that is called by psychologists as a brain plasticity. That is the ability or the skill that we have to absorb knowledge. The ability that we have to see what my mom is doing, see what my dad is telling me, and take part of that information and make part of me. So in that way, all the experiences that we have in our childhood is something that in one or other way give us like a shape, like an idea about what we want to do, about how we're going to understand the world. So not only the toys, games, our parents, or every institution, the first day of the school, my first friend, all these kind of things have a lot of impact in the childhood and also in the selection, the choice of the major, and my life in general.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes, and I think that maybe something that I agree with David, is that maybe our parents' likes and dislikes influence on us. I mean, for example, if your parents listen to specific general music that influence you on your behavior, also in your preferences. For example, in the case of Jose Miguel, your parents are mathematics, right?
Yeah.
Mathematicians. So definitely that one, I think, in some way affected his choices for the engineering.
Exactly.
Interesting. So, my Mel, I have another question for you.
Yes.
Okay. So, sweetie, do you think it is important as parents to select the toys and games that our children play?
I think my professional perception of this, it's not. It's not good to do it. Why? Because from here we're going to like put, if we do that, we will put in our kids a predetermination of what they would like to do, and maybe they will start having bad feelings with this type of toys that they are going to be playing with. So we as parents, and of course as kids, we always have to feel comfortable, right? What we like the most, what makes us feel comfortable as well.
Okay, what do you think, David?
Well, I think that the parents' role in this part of select toys is more like be careful about what kind of toys the kids will use it. Yeah, be careful about well, did you see in the box of Legos or something like that, this kind of toys that is like a range of ages? That would be like my comment. That would be that parents need to be focused on that, what kind of toys the kids will be using, but not on the selection of the toys. The kid needs to be free and select what they like, because that will be direct influence on the development of the kid, and the what I like and what I dislike about the toy, what I like or dislike about how I'm going to use the toy in the world, in my space, in my privacy.
Okay, well, guys, I have another question for you, because I just come up with an idea. That is something that parents are struggling these days, and it's about digital games. For example, the use of cell phone when they are very, they are very little kids, and they use the cell phone a lot, and I think they're very intuitive in how to use the cell phone on the games. So do you think also it's a good option that the parents allow them, or is like you mentioned, like according to the age?
Well, everything have an influence, yeah. If you see the influence of the old games, like hide and seek, like jump the rope, this kind of games have an influence more in the mechanical part of their body, yeah. So kids that play a lot of sports maybe have more skills to build or create something with their hands, or maybe being an athletic young or adult. But people or the kids that are growing in this era, they have a lot of skills about the informatic ways. So we are in the era of the system engineers, in the
multimedia
engineers, and building video games and creating new things about the informatic area. So again, this will be depends of the context and about this let me build very good my idea about this.
Okay.
But that has to be a lot with the influence that they're going to receive from the phone. If you tell me that the parent give the phone to the kid just to keep it entertained, busy, maybe the influence is not too good. But they find maybe a game that to stimulate, or a video to stimulate the mind, the eyes, the sense of the child, that will be something better.
Okay, so Melissa, do you want to say something about this topic, digital games?
I have a lot to say about it. I want to complement, of what he said is basically, I think that a kid below 10 years old should not have a phone with him playing. This type of phones and technological things have a big impact on our brain. So we have to be very, very, very careful with them, because of course it's not good for them to be entertained, yes, by a screen. And like he said, of course, kids now are missing the part of being sociable as we were before. And this is what we are losing. Now we are interacting through a screen that it should not be that way, right? Every time that we go to a restaurant, you will see everyone on their phone instead of speaking to each other. So I think that we have to be or we have to let kids be kids, play with others, and let the phones and screens and games apart until they're a little bit grown up and they know what good things or bad things are. Because of course, we know that all the games now are online and the dangers that are in there are humongous. So I don't think that that's a very good stimulation for kids under 10 years old.
Okay, Mel, thank you very much. I think that we have different perspectives and it's awesome. So let's check the comments on YouTube.
Well, Dancer Girl tells us it's important to provide a range of skills they can learn with and without technology. And it's true.
Okay.
Another comment of she is, well, we are exposed to shape our views and future experiences. It's important to be open to different learning opportunities and not limiting it to our own preference or reservations.
Okay, there you go, guys. Pretty cool. Thank you very much for your comments on YouTube. And actually, something very important, guys. And definitely, yes, David mentioned that actually, these generations are techie. They were born with technology, and I think it's something that definitely they will use it. But Melissa mentioned as well that maybe those little kids are losing the social skills. I mean, it's part and part.
Well, I want to say something about that because
go ahead.
Social skills is not, well, we don't have one kind of toys, we don't have one specific way to play games, and in that way we don't have one specific way to be a kid. Yeah, generations are different, and every generation is marked with a particularity way to be. And this generation and the kids that are growing right now have an extremely influence about the technologies, video games, screens, and that's something that we cannot
control at all.
So we need to adapt to that kind of influence.
Okay, there you go, guys. You know, we also love your comments on the chat about this topic. I think it's really cool. And let's go with another question that I have for you, Meli. And is, now that we're talking about these games, the influence and the parents.
I have another question too.
Okay, let's go, Jose. Yeah, go ahead.
For Melissa or David, whatever. What do you think about, for example, the parents don't let play to a specific game for a kid? I want to say in my case, because my parents never let me play, for example, God of War, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite, because that was blood and I kill persons and they don't like that. And today, when I grow up, I play Valorant, Fortnite, and games that I have blood and I need to kill people. So why I play the games that my parents never let me use? You know what I mean?
I think I got your question. Well, I think it's basically it's not that they didn't let you play with it, but of course it was a little bit of a background to it. I think that if you're a kid, I think that you should not be exposed into those type of content. You know what I mean? Differently than now. Right now you have a criteria. You know that should not happen on the real life, right? You know that is not a good point, right? Or a good thing to do, and that just will stay on the game, that you will not take it to reality. So when you expose kids, from those really, really young ages to play this type of video games, we are going to have people like, I don't know if you have heard about in the United States, kids that go to schools, right, shooting to everyone and thinking that it's a video game. So I think that parents should be very careful with that. And I think that now if you do it, it's not bad or good. The thing is that right now you have a different criteria. Yes, and you're old enough to know if it's good or bad.
Okay,
thank you, Mel. Maybe you want to?
Yeah, I'm totally agree with that. That's what I said at the beginning. Like parents' role, that would be like being really careful about what kind of what kind of toys or games are you playing. Yeah, the influence that you're having about that toys and games. Yeah, let kids be kids, but let kids be kids with careful.
Okay, there you go. So, guys, I have another question for you, Mel, and is now that you're talking a lot about the games, restriction, in allowing to play kids, what kind of games could help us to develop skills that will be useful as adults?
Well, there are plenty of them. I think one of our biggest ones is just, like David said, hide and seek. A game where you have a contact with someone else and exposing our differences, right? And try to have a negotiation. Yes, it would help us in our future when we have a job, when we're going to decide a career. So it's very, very important, those games, that you have a constant communication with others.
Okay, do you have some games?
Well, I love hide and seek. Mostly part of the hide and seek important is because a little kid doesn't have like an specific kind of they don't know how to discriminate about what is out of my sense. Yeah, I'm seeing right now this classroom, but when I am out of here, I don't know if this classroom is still existing. So when I'm playing hide and seek, I'm trying to look and find someone that I don't see it. So that stimulates my one kind of intelligence that maybe I don't have in that moment, or I have it, but I don't have a very trained. So that kind of game, the game that I need to think more about what I can see or touch or what I have exposed to my sense. I think that these games are very useful to evolve my sense, to evolve my intelligence.
Okay, cool. You know, I haven't thought it in that way. So there are maybe more comments on YouTube?
We got Dancer Girl. Something that hasn't been considered is that children are exposed to things away from home, in school, with their friends, at camp. As much as we try to limit things, they can still be exposed.
Well, yes, actually, I think that we mentioned one. Thank you very much, Salsa Dancer, at the beginning of the program, that the influence is not only in your families, it's also in the different areas that you move. I mean, society. School, society in general, that's right.
The influence is everywhere.
Influence is everywhere, there you go. So, guys, I don't know, do you have maybe more questions to Melissa and David?
Well, I have a question for David. If you were a father of a family, you let your child's play with everything or something something else? No, it's totally no.
Not permitted.
Yeah.
Well, give me an example of.
Well, my parents don't let me play with guns, with guns of plastic. But they give me a nerf when I grow up. So that's the example. Because they don't let me play with guns when I was so anxiety. So they think that I shoot my brother.
I never used it.
It's a real situation.
Well, as I said
previously,
I would have like a lot of encounter about the ages restrictions. Yeah. So I think that in the first time of the life of my kid will be like I'm talking about 0 to 5 years. That is like the season with a major capable brain plasticity. I will be like stimulating that all the knowledge and all the areas of his brain or her brain about building, moving his body or her body, knowing his own body. But I think that this selection will be free.
Okay, David, thank you very much. And guys, we are getting to the end of this episode. Thank you very much, Melissa. I don't know if you have maybe a last comment to all our audience about this topic.
No, guys, it's pretty awesome having you. First of all, thank you once again for letting me here. And obviously, yes, guys, please, I want to encourage all of you. And if you have brothers, young brothers, sisters, or kids, please give them the opportunity to have a good childhood by playing. Please, I think playing is the best strategy for everyone to learn, to construct their future, and obviously to have a better communication with others.
Thank you very much, ma'am. A last comment, David, from you? That's it?
That will be all. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anita. Thank you very much, Nico, Jose Miguel. Thank you very much, all our audience out there. And don't forget, see you the next episode. Love you so much. And also our Wow Speaks people behind scenes. You can imagine all the activities we have done to make this program possible. Okay. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Welcome to Wow Speaks English, a radio program made by students for the world.